guys? We're back for another Dokkan battle video. So, today I want to go ahead and talk about Dokkan Fest RADITZ, right? Now, as far as I can tell, right, I've been doing content on the game regularly since about AGL Super Vegeta. I think was around the time I started, like, actually doing content on the game, right? Like, I actually, before AGL Super Vegeta even came out on Global Dokkan around when I started, I did make a video just before his original release, which was November 2nd of 2016, right? Now, I started playing JP just a couple of weeks before this guy, when LR Goku Black and Zamasu came out. Super Saiyan 3 Broly was the first Dokkan Fest that dropped after I created my current JP account. So the point of me explaining this is that I've been around for most of the game's lifespan, right? So, like, I've seen sort of all these units release. Like, I kind of have, like, a good gauge of how good various units were at various points in the game's life cycle, right? Like, the whole point of this video is which characters dropped who were, like, not great on release. I think RADITZ, he is the worst performing, like, Dokkan Fest ever in terms of sales. And I think RADITZ is probably the worst premium unit ever released in Dokkan history. That's going through all summonable LRs and then Dokkan Fest exclusive TURs. I think RADITZ is really the worst. I feel like you could go through all of the other units. Maybe some of the summonable LRs in 2021 are very weird and niche, which I have pulled up. We'll talk about them. But RADITZ, he really is, like, the worst. It's actually just stunning to me how bad he is. I really do think that his overall just mid-performance, lackluster celebrations on both Global and JP, I do think Dokkan is currently in a scramble right now with the Dragon Ball Super Superhero movie having been delayed, which I think all of it sort of, again, pieces together. No content during the celebration, RADITZ having a mid-kit, perhaps they pushed him up earlier than he's supposed to release, they didn't test him or whatever, they didn't check to make sure he was good, blah, 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 I don't know. There's a lot of reasons there could be, but he just really is unimpressive. He's an AoE unit that does no AoE damage, because he does Supreme, and then this is a huge factor in him hitting hard. These two buffs right here are a huge factor in RADITZ hitting hard. Look at all modern units these days. They'll get their start of turn buff, and then they'll have an attack buff on super attack or collecting orbs or something, right? But RADITZ, when AoEing, only has this, the 150% of the start of turn. That's all he's got. So it just leads to RADITZ shooting out 2 million attack stats, rainbowed Link level 10 AoE, right? It's pathetic. Pathetic performance by a premium unit, right? And it makes sense that he's the worst selling Dokkan Fest ever because he sucks, right? Like, you could say, oh, he's great for Super Battle Road. It's like, you could come up with a million better units on these teams, right? I mean, where are you running them? Pure Saiyan? Are you struggling for units on there? No. Goku family? No. Right? Like, I don't know, he's just an L. His leader skill is good, but, like, the 200%, most of the characters getting his 200% also are getting it from Captain Ginyu. Ginyu, who is a superior unit in virtually every single way, I guess, except, like, linking with other sort of, like, better units, right? Ginyu is only really linking with the Ginyu Force characters, whereas RADITZ does have a solid link set, right? Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle. You'll get a lot of those active, but there's just not really much of a place to use this character. Very, very, very soon, this guy is going to already suck, like, really bad. He's okay right now, or mid, but very soon he's just going to be fodder. Super Saiyan 3 Broly was capable of doing incredible amounts of damage when he first came out. One of the worst things was he would have a 0 defensive stat. Literally, it was 0 when this guy first came out. But, I mean, you were using him along with LR Goku Black and Zamasu, who are one of the craziest units when they're healing their attack stats. They're able to get good defense after they supered. LR Goku Black and Zamasu were just so busted. So it's like, maybe they helped cover up this guy's weaknesses. This guy is definitely one of the worst units ever released, though. And then his EZA looked good at the start, and then they released all these other crazy EZAs. So Super Saiyan 3 Broly, I feel like he should have... It would be awesome if this was like a great character, but he never really got a chance to be. Tech Hit. Now, Tech Hit, likewise, was really bad when he first came out, right? I think he actually was very unimpressive. I remember first reading his kit. What was it? It was around like Christmas Eve of 2018. Yeah. So it must have been like the 23rd where I must have saw his kit for the first time. And I remember being stunned. This loser doesn't have defense. This is insanity, right? Like, no defense? Are you kidding me? This guy would destroy Super Battle Road stages at the time. But at the time that he dropped, he had what? Universe Survival Saga? And then Universe 6 as it. Those are the only two categories he had. I don't know. I do think he was able to do very good in Super Battle Road. I feel like Hit, when he came out, probably was a better Super Battle Road unit than RADITZ. RADITZ can get good defense, but, well, I say that, but he doesn't get this against multiple enemies. He's just so poorly designed. It's actually insane. But like Hit could dominate, right? Medium chance to stun, the attack debuff, you get the other stun right here. So Hit was able to perform very well a lot of times. What do we have here? LR Super 17. I mean, he's good, but it's like I feel like this is a very similar case sort of to RADITZ. Right? Just like very badly designed kit, right? Like this, he's the only character in history to get this. Every other character gets hit and they get key. For some reason, he had to get a high chance, right? Sometimes these units, like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, what are they thinking? It's like Super 17 was like, I don't know, like a Super Saiyan Goku or something like that. And they're like, oh my god, dude, we can't make another busted Saiyan, so we gotta, like, limit him a little bit. You know, not giving him ki when he gets hit. This is the worst. He activates 17% damage reduction. What a meme. After the turn ends in which he's hit, what were they thinking? He's so, like, it's just ridiculous, right? He's a GT boss's leader. They introduced the category into the game, and he gets stronger for Android units. Oh, by the way, there are no Android units on this team besides him, so they just weren't really, like, this guy has definitely aged already, right? Like, if I'm running let's say Dragon Ball Super Superhero comes out, we get a 200% Android leader, I could go without using this guy, straight up. I feel like AGL Super 17, there's situations where I would rather use him over this guy. This guy, like, he deserves to be on this list. Very poor design all around. Very weird. Another thing where it's like, RADITZ, like, if you just add the Scouter ability to RADITZ, I feel like he's a lot better. Super 17, right, if you give him beam absorption, the way 19 and 20 have, this guy would be pretty interesting. But guess what? He doesn't have it. Shitty super attack effects. Like, what were they thinking with him? Tapion and Minosha. The thing with them, right, is that they're this, like, really weird, like, unit. Like, this link set. Very bizarre. And they've got no teams. Right? Like, this is one of those things where they have no idea what they're doing. Because look at this. So they're giving Storied Figures 2 key, 20% attack and defense, and then Sibling Bond 2 key, 20% attack and defense. If this unit was just all allies, 4 key, 40% attack and defense, they'd be a lot better, right? It's just, there's so many different annoyances. I feel like this ability is horrible. You guys should know by now. Any build-up damage reduction during the turn that gets reset, these characters typically are not that impressive. LR Evolution Blue Vegeta, Tapion and Minosha, 17 and Golden Frieza, Super 17, right? All characters that sort of like build up damage reduction like that. They're not really that impressive. They have a godlike active skill, so powerful, but like, dude, I haven't used this unit in like 6 months or something like that. Like, when was the last time I used this unit? Like, I don't know. This was a very weird release, and they didn't they didn't create them in a way where you would run them. If they were 4 key 40% attack and defense, you could throw them on like Join Forces and Movie Heroes. Legitimately powerful teams. Their design was just poor. Now, okay, I felt like I had to talk about this guy. Transforming into Goku Black. Because people will now talk about him as though he was one of the worst releases ever. I will tell y'all that he was much better on release than people give him credit for. In particular, this guy came out in November of 2018. Remember that the legendary Goku event dropped in May of 2019 for Goku Day, right? Global got LR Gohan and Goten, and JP got the legendary Goku event. Goku Black was really good in there when that event first dropped and this guy was first out. Right? Goku Black performing as well as he did in that event, I really just don't want to crush this guy, right? Because it's like, that was the most difficult content in the game when it first came out, the Legendary Goku event. And Goku Black performed well in there, right? So, it's difficult for me to just completely destroy this guy, despite the bad parts of his kit, right? Who do we have next? Super Buu. Super Buu is another character I feel like I should mention here. But, I mean, at the very least, his leader skill was incredible. Transformation boost. I mean, he's certainly not that impressive in base, but I don't just... He was good enough on release that I feel like, we could talk about him, but he doesn't really deserve to be here. One thing I will say is that this is the last character with, like, super subpar animations. This was the last character, because after this guy was Metal Cooler, and then after Metal Cooler was Goku Black, their animations still are good to this day, right? And the unit directly before Buu was LR Goku and Frieza. So Buu is so unfortunate in that it's like LR Goku and Frieza, their animations hold up today, and then Metal Cooler and Goku Black, this guy's sandwiched in between a bunch of good animations, but he has the last character with bad animations. Like, go look at him transforming. There's no sky. The sky is just black. It looks so weird. I don't understand why they can't just add a sky. It would have to take them 5 minutes of effort to add the sky to his transformation. Am I crazy? It's like 5 minutes, right? Like, I don't know. They have changed the characters' animations after they've released before. They did it with AGL Evolution Blue Vegeta a couple years ago. Now, 17 and Golden Frieza, again, another very badly designed unit. Honestly, a lot of these characters, maybe it's just like sort of like recency bias for me, but I feel like some of these characters have been so poorly designed. 2021 had a lot of characters that were just not impressively designed. There's one I didn't pull up who I probably should talk about. We'll get Legendary Power Up, and we'll circle around and talk about this one character I forgot to bring up. Same thing. This shit is terrible. They build up, even when they're fully built up and their damage, like, they just aren't good anywhere. They're very unimpressive. Terribly designed unit. Their active skill is super good, but, like, dude, they have to do 4 super attacks. It takes forever to get that. They're not on a ton of teams. Link set is a bit weird for some of the units you want to use them with. Very mysterious design all around. Not impressive whatsoever, I think. I was not impressed from the day they came out, pretty much. Now, Blue Kaioken Goku, I feel like he deserves to be talked about here, but his Spirit Bomb on release really was very impressive, right? I mean, when this guy first came out, like, Extreme Super Battle Road literally dropped, like, almost exactly with him. I think Extreme Super Battle Road came out a couple of days before this guy. With Kaioken Blue Goku, it was always the Spirit Bomb, right? Was the big thing with him. That was the major sort of thing about him. In the Legendary Goku event, he could one-shot that final phase. This character really was never that impressive. But with the active skill Spirit Bomb, and then with his incredible leader skill, just an amazing leader skill when he dropped, I feel like I should mention him here, but I don't know that he really truly deserves to be here, right? He did have some decent stuff when he first dropped. Exchange Buu, another character I want to mention, but Super Buu is just, he was so good. this guy was so powerful. I remember me and Goresh talking when this guy came out, like, Super Buu and Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks were probably the best character. Like, if they were turn 1, like, if this guy was turn 1 on April 24th, he might have been the best character in the game, turn 1, right? Like, him and Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. So, again, I wanted to mention him, but I think Super Buu was too good. The first two forms were ass, pretty much even on release, but Super Buu he even still holds up a little bit. Like, he'll get crushed in Red Zone, this guy, but, like, he's not, like, gonna take 1,000,000 damage, right? Like, he could help you get it done. So, Super Buu is good. Vegeta Napa, they have some really bad aspects to their kit, but they're a unit that has a lot of utility. This is going to be an interesting EZA, because they're an AoE. They have this third turn guaranteed dodge, which is impressive. They have the exchange heal with Vegeta. So, like, this unit, it'll be tough, I think, for them to make this unit bad with their EZA, because this type of utility ages well. And, like, their AoE is much... Dude, this unit's AoE is, like, more powerful than RADITZ. It's a 2-year-old unit. It's bizarre. Utterly bizarre, right? But I think this unit's value in, like, Super Battle Road stages when they first dropped, as well as they're still great for World Tournament. I have to put them above RADITZ. Because remember, like, people could say, oh, RADITZ is meant to be used for World Tournament, but you do want to use LRs to get the higher team costs and thus get higher points. I think the argument exists that's very strong for Jacko and Chaozu, because they will save you so many items, but, you know, you're not, I don't think you want to run RADITZ in World Tournament. Then we have Kefla. I feel like Kefla was strong the day she came out, but by August of 2020, I remember using her in the extreme, like, it was Universe 6 Super Battle Road, and realizing she was, the worst unit on the team, right, by August. So, the honeymoon phase with her ended very fast. This is just, for her to be good, she needed 6 key spheres, so it's just that is very tough. In Super Saiyan 2, though, she does have her dodge right at the start, right? So, like, that's good, but needing 6 orbs to get this dodge chance hurts our girl Kefla quite a bit. She is probably better than RADITZ. I don't know, like, these two I feel like are probably the worst ones, although Broly just did do so much damage, because RADITZ does, like, nothing overly impressive, really. The last unit I wanted to talk about, I forgot to pull up, is them. Goku and Piccolo. Another character where it's like, they get a pure Saiyan, Goku, and then a Namekian Piccolo, and then their link set sucks, and they're on no teams, right? It's just, these, like, sort of combo units don't really work well together. The way they make a character like this good is by making them a support, or making them a ridiculously defensive god. That's how they make this type of character good. If this character guarded and greatly stacked, a la Tech Ultimate Gohan, they would probably be quite good, right? But just like this sort of, like, build up attack and defense thing they've got going on right here, it's like you can see them look good sometimes, but the link set, the lack of teams, it's just kind of a disaster. I don't know. I mean, they were good. I felt like they were good, but by the time August of last year rolled around, I felt like Gohan and Krillin were, like, a better version of this character. Sort of, is how I would say it, right? Because this unit struggles for keys so badly, and Gohan and Krillin were getting their extra key per orb mechanic, right? Gohan and Krillin are wonky as well, but I felt like they were very powerful. A bit more usable than, like, Tapian and Minosha, Goku and Piccolo. Yeah, 2021, they were really poor with a lot of the summonable LRs in 2021. But then at the latter half, you know, Gohan and Trunks, Janemba, Hidden God Goku, Vegeta and Goku, incredible LRs who are still really good. So, let me know what you guys think of RADITZ. Again, seriously, one of the most disastrous releases in Dokkan history. It's crazy. The one thing that's going to be really awesome for global players is that this guy should release at the start of August. So, I imagine this guy will release somewhere around August 10th. And it's just going to be such an... How could you summon... It's so easy to skip. And then it's going to be like Vegito Blue and Merge Zamasu as like the dual Dokkan Fest for Worldwide or something like that. The easiest skip in the world. Let me see, because Videl, this guy released on April 1st, April Fool's Day, just like Videl. When did Videl release on Global? Like August 10th or something? Let's see. Yeah, August 10th. So expect Raditz to drop somewhere around August 10th. Will probably be when you're going to see him come out on Global, and he's just going to be such a free skip, right? So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.